this day. Lord, we're thankful for our help to be here, Lord. We're thankful for these leaders here. We pray, Lord, that you will be with them, and we pray that they look to you for guidance, and the decisions they make will be good decisions for the community, Lord. We pray for each one here. We're thankful for their attendance. We ask as we go through these proceedings that you be with us, and give us the pity of our shortcomings. In Christ's name we pray.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order.
Commissioner Allen.
Here.
Commissioner Duggar. Here. Commissioner Myers. Here. Vice Mayor Mayor Campbell.
Here. Approval of minutes from July. Motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion Commissioner Allen. Second.
Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
Commissioner Duggar.
Yes.
Commissioner Myers.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stone. Mayor Hicks.
Yes. And the second was by Vice Mayor. All right, citizens' comments. Ron Hudson, budgetary issue.
I talked to Will, just a little while ago, 6 years ago, I guess it was. I talked to Gene, and he told me that there is the state pays us like $7,200 a year to mow that little greenway out here as you're coming in on Cedar Avenue off of the 4-lane. Well, the city gets $7,200. I don't know if they've raised that or not. Do you know, Mayor?
I do.
Still 72? Well, what I'd propose, Will's short-handed, and he's had nothing but rain this whole year, and you can hear the grass growing, and he's had a heck of a time keeping up with all the mowing, and I just thought I'd throw it out that maybe the city might want to put that out for bid along with that same contract, trimming the hedges, the bushes down on Cedar Avenue to keep that looking good and still free up some of Will's people. But that's the budget part that I wanted to talk about.
Daniel hit the ladder. In the ladder, is that
Yes,
correct?
in the ladder. Good evening again, Mayor Henson, Commissioner Duggar, Commissioners, and residents. My name is Daniel Hinderleiter, a South Pittsburg resident, following up on my July 8th concerns regarding the city's financial transparency with the National Cornbread Festival. Since then, new developments demand action. The city's claiming no financial records for festival support like police and maintenance workers persists, despite no response still to my May 17th and May 27th, 2025 requests, continuing to violate state law. IRS Form 990s confirm Mayor Henson and Commissioner Duggar led the festival board from 2020 through 2024, raising a conflict possibly ongoing into 2025. Notably, Commissioner Duggar emailed me as president of the National Cornbread Festival on July 14th, offering a meeting to discuss my concerns without providing any of the requested documents, prompting my July 29th IRS complaint against the nonprofit for non-compliance. And again on 8/10, requesting a meeting at City Hall the week ahead, still not providing any of the requested documentation from any of my past requests, or whether that was as commissioner or president of the National Cornbread Festival. The State Comptroller and Office of Open Records Counsel have referred both of these cases to the Division of Investigations. The 2024's audits, delayed record closure, and $738,925 in unearned grants highlights governance gaps. I continue to urge the mayor and this council to address my previous public records requests, address the conflicts of interest, and support my May 17, 2025 state special audit request, reinforced by my July 29th follow-up with the state comptroller. Residents, please request IRS Form 990s from the National Cornbread Festival Incorporated. Contact the state comptroller requesting a special audit for the city of South Pittsburg. Transparency strengthens us as a community and a city. I'm proud to be a resident of South Pittsburg. We elected these individuals sitting right here at this table to govern for us. If we can't get full transparency from those elected, then they're ultimately just ruling us. Thank you.
South Pittsburg Little League cheerleaders, Lindy Monter, Mom,
It's Crystal Lancaster.
okay,
I changed it up on you.
sorry.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to speak. My name is Crystal Lancaster. I'm the Vice President of the South Pittsburg Little League cheer program this year, and as well as B-Team Cheerleaders head coach. I provide physical therapy services to all of Marion County school systems, as well as being a full-time wife and mother of two. I'm here on behalf of our Little League cheer program, which proudly supports 60 enthusiastic and hardworking cheerleaders. These young athletes bring energy, teamwork, and community spirit to every game, and we've committed to providing them with a safe and supportive environment. To meet our insurance requirements and ensure their continued participation, we're respectfully requesting $1,500 in funding. This support would go directly towards our coverage that protects our cheerleaders and allows our program to continue and thrive. I want to note that we have done fundraising to help with our costs, but as you know, that in this financially draining economy, that money only goes so far when it comes to the cost of uniforms, palms, bows, etc., especially when there's family with multiples in the program, and we want to provide an affordable program for our community. This money would allow us to continue that. We appreciate your consideration and continued investment in our youth. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve. Make a motion that we will approve $1,500 for Little League cheer.
Second it.
Commissioner Allen?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn?
Yes.
Commissioner Myers? Vice Mayor Stone?
Yes.
Mayor Monkey?
Yes.
Well, I got one question before going further on that. Crystal, does all your fundraisers, I mean, you got uniforms and uniforms out the roof and all that covering that for y'all, and this is just for the
This
insurance?
is just for the insurance that each girl, I can't remember how much I think it's like $75 per girl for the insurance, so that'll cover each girl's insurance for the league.
So all of your other events, you're raising money
Yes.
through the city or however you're doing it? Or do you get any money from the city for that?
No.
You're not? Why do you ask for some money from the city to help you on your fundraising?
As far as insurance wise, say that again. Sorry.
Why didn't you ask the city for a little money for the fundraising if you're going out? I know the insurance there, but why didn't you ask for a little more?
Why didn't we ask for more?
Yeah.
But
I mean, I understand, cause this is not part of the school, this is
Yes.
part of the weekend, events and stuff, ball games and stuff like that, and y'all travel, and you're spending money to represent South Pittsburg, so, I mean,
we just felt like $1,500, just the cost of insurance would be sufficient for this season. This is our first time running the committee. This is my first time being on the committee. All the committee of this year is new, so we're all kind of new to this. So we thought maybe asking for the $1,500 for insurance this year was sufficient.
They'll be back. All right, Paul Don King. All right, Ms. Milheiser. Sorry for taking so long.
That's all right. The clock started when we called your name.
A number of months ago, the Historic Society came before this board to get permission to put historic signs along Cedar Avenue. We got the idea from Scottsboro Square. It'll be a picture and a short statement of biography. And we're just getting started to put our document together, and we wanted you to see what we're up to. And if you have any concerns, let us know. And I have extra copies if anybody would like one to see after the meeting. Thank you.
All right, communications, I don't have anything this evening. Vice Mayor Stone.
I got a couple things. I got an update from Mark Heisner, our third-party engineer. From what I understand, we are ready to go on the flooding issues at Ash, is that right?
Yeah, so he gave us a plan. I was gonna speak about it during my part, but he gave us a plan on, there's a little creek bed that runs back through there, and he had it all surveyed, and he mapped out where the creek should be, and he kinda gave us those guidelines, told us to go through and start bush hogging and cleaning the creek out, so. Gonna try to start on that in the next week or two.
Next month, can you request an update on the map? See how much surveying we need to finish that up?
Yeah, so when we met, it was last week, I mentioned that to him, and he was gonna get with Keith and see if we could just piggyback off the water and gases application they use for their maps, and us just add a layer for storm drains. He said that would be really slow. He said, we have a lot of the surveys done already for our two main branches, Poplar Springs and Third Street. The issue is all the catch basins and tiles that run up and down through town, we don't have surveyed, so it's the way he sounded is it's gonna be a long, drawn out process, but it is doable.
Chip away at it. The other thing I had three different, questions about code enforcement. Are we using, it's about the text.my.gov, is that on the website? I've had several people asking about it.
It is on the
I think they're
website.
trying to figure out where to go. I'm assuming everything's still by department.
Yes, it's on the website, and I think you go in there and you choose who you want to.
And
Send
can
it.
you do it anonymously? Cause that was two of the three
Now,
questions.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, I'd have to check on that. I don't know the answer to that question.
We could look at, I think we can set the contact us to where it would be anonymous, do the contact page on the website, but I'll have to double check. I think we can set it that way if that's something people would prefer.
I don't think it's set that way right now, but
Yeah, but there's several that wanna complain about their neighbors, they just don't want their neighbors to know it's them.
Well, they only have one or two options when it's your neighbor. Text.my.gov is on there.
That's all, that's it.
Commissioner Allen,
I'm good.
Commissioner Duggar.
I've got two things. In response to Mr. Hinderleiter, by my computer, I did email you the 990 forms on August the 1st. The first one started at 11:19 a.m. That's the 990 forms that are out there already on the internet, on the IRS website, so everybody in here can pull it up. All you gotta do is go to the IRS and find those forms. So, that
For the record
information
there,
is.
I haven't received them, so I might check why.
Did you
Resend
go to,
them if you
did you
can.
go to the IRS.gov and find them?
I found them online.
Okay, so
But
you
I've
have
still
them.
got nothing from y'all in response to my request, as well as the current board of directors. So if you'd be willing to email that to me, that'd be great.
I will email it to you again because I did.
Okay.
Okay, also, the festival board met last night and went over your requests and everything, and from now on, all future correspondence between me or the festival will be through our attorney to you.
Imagine that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Public information.
Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was, Michael and I had a meeting, last week with, Tennessee Southeast Development District to apply for a $500,000 DIG grant, which stands for Downtown Improvement Grant. So you'll notice the buildings that were improved in the past 18 months to 2 years, the Opera House, private logo, the sign at Arts in the Burg, the merchant sign down here by Lodge, and also Ken Jordan's building. All that was part of a DIG grant that was for $50,000. Before the $50,000, we did one for $15,000. Also, E.H. Marsh was in that too. So, we've got a chance to apply for a third round of this. $500,000 is a lot of money. That is not a matching grant by the city. This is a matching grant for property owners that are selected to receive part of that money. So what'll happen is, I don't know if we'll get that much, Michael, we don't know that yet. But we will sure apply for the whole thing. And this is for, like I said, the buildings downtown to be improved. I know you would all agree that Opera House and several other ones have made just a complete turnaround. And I think that the second round was awesome, and I think that other property owners are very interested in seeing if they can obtain some grant money to help them too. So we'll let you know. This grant is due on September the 12th, and so we're going to be working hard to get that done. A committee will be formed of citizens, and which will be the same one that we used for the first two. Lamar, you're on that committee, and several other people to see what applications that come in. So we'll be giving you an update as we have it. Maybe not monthly if nothing's happened that much, but we'll see. And so you'll know what's going on. And another goal of ours is to turn South Pittsburg into what's called a Main Street community. And that is through the state, all these are, and it gives you more availability for grants like this and for other downtown improvements. And if you've got any questions about that, you can either ask me anytime or now or whenever, but just wanted to get you kind of in the loop on what's going on with that.
I've been asked by some of the business owners down there, they've heard something about this. Are they gonna have to match the 500,000, or if we get 500,000 and then each building or whatever, it costs $10,000 and we use 10,000 of that grant, 10,000 of that 500,000, are they gonna have to match the 10,000?
They match, if they're awarded $10,000, they have to match 20 to 25% of that, and they get the rest of it from the state.
20 to 25%.
Right. And that's no matter what kind of money they get, they would have to put in 20 to 25%. That's the way that the first two went to. And if you they can spend money, turn that in. I administered the first two, but we're gonna have Southeast Development District administer this next one because it's so large. And what will happen is when they turn in receipts as they go along, then they can get reimbursed at that point instead of waiting to the very end of the project.
All right, Commissioner Myers. All right, City Administrator Hudson.
Thank you. I only have a few things this month. As I said last month, I went to each department head prior to the budget and asked them their needs as far as equipment, because they have some aging equipment that needs to be recycled out. Last month, we purchased 3 vehicles for the chief and his police department. This month, I sent you a quote on a front-end loader for the Public Works Department. That was at the top of the list among Mr. Maynard's needs for this upcoming year. And we brought in actually 2 different pieces of equipment and allowed our men to demo that equipment for several days. And this piece of equipment that you have in your packet, this front end loader, is the one they felt would do the best moving forward. And Mr. Maynard can speak to the equipment itself and how it operated if you guys have questions. But on the financial side of it, the lease would be for 48 months. It would cost us, with insurance on that piece of equipment, $26.89 per month, and after 48 months, it would be ours. And the reason we wanna do the lease is because they come out and maintenance or fix the equipment as needed if something tears up. And, Mr. Maynard, would you like to add anything about the equipment itself?
No, this is just a newer piece of equipment that I don't think many cities around here have went to yet. I mean, you look at a lot of public work departments throughout the state, and a lot of them have these. They're just compact wheel loaders is what they are, and they have a ton of different attachments you can get for the front end. So the thought process of mine was, hey, let's not handicap ourselves to just a backhoe. Let's have a piece of equipment that we can interchange a snowplow on, or interchange different things for different jobs. We're always gonna need a backhoe as well, so that's why we wanted to keep one and then auction our older one off and just get a newer piece of equipment that we can do several different things with.
And I failed to mention, the total cost on that piece of equipment is $180,935. And again, after the 48 months, it would be ours. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to ask.
So does the $26.89 per month include the attachments?
It includes everything, Mike.
Yeah, I think so. It includes our main attachment. Now,
I know you just got through saying
so
4 or 5 different
Well,
attachments.
there's over 45 different attachments for this thing. It just depends on how extravagant we wanna get, but they range anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 an attachment. Some's a little cheaper. You can get as simple as a broom to go on the front that's probably $1,700–1,800. So I think the one Mr. Hudson's got quoted is just for the loader and our grapple bucket that we use to run the alleys with at first.
And this money is not new money, it was budgeted for in the budget to cover this lease cost.
What's the brand?
We trialed a John Deere, we trialed a Cat, and we trialed a Bobcat. The Cat was a little more advanced. Not to get too deep into it, they had more settings as far as the bucket being able to float when you're driving down the highway or whatever. The other brands didn't have as much as the Cat had, so kind of handicapped us in what we was able to do.
What would you do, there's a major flood, and up here, where the water going into 3rd Street, it's jumped it before, and down the south end on Cedar. You need a backhoe at both places. How could you handle that?
So there's a few different ways you could. I mean, obviously, we're still gonna have one backhoe. The second thing, I mean, we've got a track hoe that's the same functions as a backhoe, just on tracks. So you essentially got the correct term for them is a knuckle boom. You've got 2 knuckle boom pieces of equipment that can reach and dig. It's a backhoe and a track hoe. So that would be my first thought. My second thought is, water and gas is always very helpful with whatever we need. I mean, so if we needed to go, if we desperately needed another backhoe, I mean, I'm sure I could call Keith and he'd let us borrow his. If we needed it, I couldn't see, never say never, obviously, but I couldn't see in a situation where we would be in dire need to have 2, is, I guess, my thought behind it.
I have seen it happen before, so you could talk to Keith in advance and have an agreement that if we did.
Right. Yeah, I don't think he would care at all about that. He'd be more than willing to help.
Is this off the state bid?
Yes, sir.
We need a motion. Or were you making a motion?
I was asking.
Yeah, we need a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the piece of equipment.
Second.
Commissioner Allen,
Yes.
Commissioner Duggar,
Yes.
Commissioner Myers,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stone,
Yes.
Mayor Henson.
Yes.
All right, the next piece of equipment, the second thing on the Public Works list was a side-by-side. And, we called around and we got a quote with Polaris. And I think Mr. Mayor is satisfied with this particular side-by-side. And the quote's in your packet. And rather than, of course, lease this out, this is the full purchase price of $19,336. And that was the second item he asked for, and I think, Mr. Maynard, that you're happy with that particular side-by-side.
A lot better than the one we got now.
How old is the one you got now?
Probably older than me. I have no idea.
Was it budgeted?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
State bid.
Yes.
The water and gas just bought, I'm pretty sure that the exact same model. It's the same, the one we got quoted as well.
Do we have a motion? I'll move.
Commissioner Allen,
Yes.
Commissioner Duggar,
Yes.
Commissioner Myers,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stone,
Yes.
Mayor Henson.
Yes.
All right, and lastly is the Axon contract we have with the, for the police department. We currently have a contract with Axon, and simply what they do is they come in and they, switch out the chief's body cams, his cameras, also, his tasers. I think, how often they do that, chief, once a month or once a year?
The equipment has a lifespan of 5 years, so when we entered into the initial contract with 5 years, at the midpoint of the 5 years, they came in and upgraded with the latest that's out. We're coming up on the end of our contract now, so instead of us having to go into a new contract, they're going to cut us the same deal as the old contract, where we're gonna get the newest equipment, plus add another taser and body camera to our inventory, to cover the new code enforcement officer. And then, continue this for another 5 years, so at the 2.5 year mark, we're gonna get another upgrade, but it'll be a free upgrade, just like our last one was.
And another thing this does, if we lock in this contract now, it locks in the prices of that equipment. So over the next 5 years, the price quoted will not increase. And the cost over the 5 years will be approximately $35,964. Start the first payment would be in December of this year of $6,700 and $791. Then the next 4 years, the cost would be $7,293 per year.
And that locks that price in from the moment y'all vote on it until December, when we get the new, when our new upgrade is available.
And Chief, have you had any issues with this company? I know
No,
we
this company is very good. They actually will support with us. It's a nationwide company. Probably about 90% of the police departments are active with Axon, the tasers and the body cameras.
This is budgeted under your budget, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve the body cam
I second it.
equipment.
Commissioner Allen,
Yes.
Commissioner Duggar,
Yes.
Commissioner Myers,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stone,
Yes.
Mayor Henson.
Yes. Street department?
So yeah, the only thing I had to add is we've been doing a lot of asphalt work. I'm sorry, I gotta come on around. We're nowhere near done for the summer. We'll probably do it all the way up through the fall. So if you guys have anything, we've got a list started that we're working down. Little short-handed, we're making it work, we're okay. There's just a ton of mowing and bush hogging. We get complaints every day. Heather's phone gets blew up every day about people wanting something bush hogged or mowed. So we're just trying to work through it the best we can. It's been a bad year for the rain, but we're just, like I said, we're kind of focused on asphalt moving forward. We got some work we're going to do at the library. We're going to add a handicap ramp at the library. Tammy Parker was saying that they had a child in a wheelchair that it was kind of hard to get him or her up in and out. So I told her we would get down there and get a handicap ramp put in with a parking space for that. That's all I got on the street department side. On the park side, we're pretty close to finishing up the batting cage that we've been working on. Just want to say thank you to the Little League Baseball and Softball. They donated, I think, $2,400 worth of nets. They're also donating air conditioner, labor for air conditioner unit. I think it's $2,500 was a quote on that. So they're putting some money into this as well, wanting to see it succeed. But it's a really nice place. We should be next month. I should be able to have some pictures to show, and it should be open. We've got to work through what I sent you guys an email about as far as how we want to do the pricing on it, how we want to do the scheduling. There's still some kinks to work out there, but outside of that, it's all going good. The park, Playground Paradise, I know that's everybody's favorite topic. A lot of people want to complain about it on Facebook, so I'll go ahead and address it now. There's a brand new park on First Street, brand new. It's all brand new. So I understand Playground Paradise is dear to a lot of people's hearts around here. My name, my handprint's up there as well when I was a kid. So I get it. But people's also got to understand that park is rotten. It was built out of wood. Every 4x4 post is rotting at the ground. It's almost to the point to where it's not fixable. You go in and you can replace a 4x4 post. Well, what's it leading to? The next thing's rotten, the next thing's rotten, the next thing's... So you might as well just tear down the whole slide assembly, because you're going to rebuild it practically anyways. So, I mean, we're up there working. We're trying to do what we can with as little as we can, but we're going to have to make a decision on that moving forward too. It's to the point to where it's non-salvageable. I mean, you can't fix it. We can try our best to spruce it up a little bit.
You're talking about a lot of the numbers. I've been up there. I carried my granddaughter up there probably about a month and a half ago, and I was sort of shocked and embarrassed. Is it to the point where can somebody get hurt up there?
Oh, so that's one thing we did. So me and Mr. Hudson met last week. We talked about it. So we sent the Michael Daniels crew up there, and we just sent them through the park and let them just get a gauge on every piece of equipment there, every piece of play equipment there. And that's when I went up there and really got my eyes on it and understood, well, this is bad. I didn't know it was in that bad a shape until Michael really started pointing out. What they were doing was they was taking the screws that were backed out of a board that far. Well, when they tried to screw it in, it would just bust the board completely out. It was rotten. And I didn't know. I thought, well, it could be fixed. It could be screwed back down, but there was nothing to screw to. It's all pretty rotten. So to say somebody get hurt, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, a rotten 4x4 post falls on you, yeah. I mean, it's gonna hurt. That's just the sad reality of it. It's, like I said, we could go in, we could start taking a piece at a time, trying to fix it, but I think it's gonna be so slow that, I mean, we're gonna rebuild the whole park. You're gonna have to.
That's a good idea. How long would that, what would that entail cost-wise from, the city? How much would it cost to actually redo
That's
the
what
park?
I'm sitting there thinking about. I mean, a lot of it was volunteer. I mean, I worked up there, a lot of people worked up there, having built that, and I'm just trying to get.
But we're on notice now, and that's a big time liability thing if we're on notice.
That's what I'm concerned about.
I know it's been a
Which is
complaint to
cheaper.
a lot of people, and I didn't want people to think, well, they're sitting back not doing nothing. That's false. There's only so much we can do without just completely tearing it down. That's my stance on it.
I think
Yeah, recently we applied for a grant and we didn't receive it. So
Right,
kinda-
that hurt bad. I mean, we could have done a lot of work with that. That's all I got.
Y'all holding secret.
Could that
So,
$500,000
yeah.
grant, could any of that money go towards the park? It has to go towards downtown.
It's downtown.
So Chief just reminded me of one more thing. So we had a complaint the other day up on Coburn Town. We was doing some asphalt and one of the citizens up there got pretty aggravated at us. They were trying to get by with a dually and a trailer while we were parked off the side with all of our equipment and trailers. So there was a little bit of a stink there, but just so everybody knows publicly, we don't decide when we lay asphalt. We have to call the morning of to see if the asphalt company's even running asphalt that day. And if they are, we get to lay it. If they're not, we try again the next day. It's very hard to schedule that out and say, well, okay, we're laying this street on Richard City on Thursday of next week. It don't work that way. You call Thursday of next week, they might not be running. So the guy was kind of upset that we didn't give notice that we were closing the road. In all reality, we kind of can't, unless I go knock on everybody's door at 5 o'clock in the morning saying, hey, they're running asphalt, we're going to close your street down. So, just want to let everybody know if you see us out and we got you blocked, I apologize. We'll get out of your way as soon as we can. I promise you, we don't want to drag our feet out there working in 110 degrees with 400-degree asphalt. I promise you. That's not something we try to do. Thank you.
Chief,
I don't have nothing to add to my written report.
anything from the building inspector side? Nothing from the building inspector side?
No, sir, we're waiting on off the Irondale project. I talked to them, he is still in the process of getting their drawings and everything together. He told me probably another month or so on that right there.
All right. Princess.
I appreciate you calling me that, Sean. Thank you. Sorry, I had to. So we are full speed ahead. Our kickoff event is this weekend. So we've got Dirty Dancing Friday night, it's a Minecraft movie that's a kid's movie Saturday morning. And then the Mood Swings, they're like a jazz funk pop band. They're going to be the concert Saturday night at 7. The movies are $5 and the concert event is $10. It's going to be a really fun time. We're really excited about it. So please come out and join us. For September, the Ultimate Rewind, I think most of you probably know them as Ultimate Oldies that have played here before. They've changed their name. They are playing on September 6th. They rented the Princess prior to us taking over, so they're selling their tickets through their website. September 11th, we've got a movie scheduled. Some of these, from now on, I can't tell you the names yet, because we are announcing names of our movies and our next big events on our kickoff event Saturday night, kind of to entice you to come and get the pre-sale code for tickets. October, we have 4, possibly 5 movies scheduled. November, 2 movies and a comedian who is famous on TikTok. December, we have, of course, a bunch of Christmas movies planned. Kimball Tabernacle of Praise has rented the Princess for their Jammies and Jingles event. They'll be showing A Mickey Mouse Christmas and The Grinch. And we have a 90s country artist who will be doing a Christmas concert. I know Ronnie and Michael are so excited about Christmas music. And we also have a band booked for New Year's Eve. You've heard them before, but they're really fun. That's all I'll say about that one. And we do have a Valentine's Day concert planned. Can't tell you the name again. We'll announce that one in October. But this individual was on American Idol. So that's what I can announce at this time. Come Saturday to learn more. Other Princess improvements and news. There's been a lot going on down there. I think I talked to Heather and Michael and Carrie more than I talked to Wesley at this point. And I cannot thank them enough for being extremely responsive to me and my 5 million questions. Michael's really on things when I say, hey, we need to fix XYZ. He calls somebody immediately. We get it down there, get it get a quote for it or get it fixed. Will and his crew cleaned up the alley for us last week, so the alley's looking really good. You know, we don't have to worry about the artists and performers coming in through the back alley, and it looks, you know, it's in tip-top shape now. We have an upgrade to the balcony coming. If you've ever been in the balcony, the railing is a little short. When you stand next to it, it's a little sketchy. So we're gonna add a railing to make that, you know, a little more safe. Seals Production from Chattanooga came in and ran some sound diagnostics, ensured our system's working well and everything's dialed in. We're using a new ticketing system, so it's got lower fees for the customers and the venue, so it's saving us some money compared to Eventbrite. We launched our website, theprincesstheatertn.com. If you've been through Kimball recently, that new digital billboard right before you get to Food City in the Highlands on the left, we've got ads rolling on there. We signed a year contract with them. Got some radio and Facebook groups that we're working with to do some advertising. And some groups in Chattanooga, like their local PBS, WUTC stations. So yeah, a lot of things going on. So please come out and support it, share it with people, you know. It'll be a good time. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Next up, old business, resolution 1049, authorization, whoop, you gotta step aside. Okay. Resolution 1049, authorization for the Board of Mayor and Commissioners of the City of South Pittsburg, Tennessee, in compliance with Tennessee Code Annotated 103 to establish the Bean Pearson Library as an independent public library of its own. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second for discussion. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Allen,
Yes.
Commissioner Duggar,
No.
Commissioner Myers,
No.
Vice Mayor Stone,
Yes.
Mayor Henson.
No. All right, new business. Ordinance 861, ordinance of the City of South Pittsburg to amend the zoning map for the City of South Pittsburg, Tennessee, to rezone parcel 038.17 Marion County Tax Map 156, located at the intersection of Chance Road and Irondale Roads, from I-2 heavy industrial to R2 medium density residential. This is the first reading on this. This is the first reading. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Commissioner Allen,
Yes.
Commissioner Duggar,
Yes.
Commissioner Myers,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stone,
Yes.
Mayor Henson.
Yes. The next resolution, I'm going to let, the city administrator go over this one.
Resolution 1050, the city of South Pittsburg, it already has policy in place that limits, city employees from using, city equipment for personal use, for personal gain. Tonight, I wanted to bring this resolution before this committee to reinforce that policy and update the public on what we're doing in addition to this current policy. If I could read this resolution aloud.
Go right ahead.
Resolution number 1050, a resolution of the City of South Pittsburg, Tennessee to clarify its policy on the private use of city equipment and materials. Whereas questions have arisen regarding the use of equipment, vehicles, materials, supplies, and facilities of the City of South Pittsburg for private gain and or benefit. Whereas the city currently has in place a code of ethics in its municipal code that prohibits, restricts, and limits such private use. In section 1-407, therefore states as follows. 1-407, use of municipal time facilities. 1, an official or employee may not use or authorize the use of municipal time, facilities, equipment, or supplies for private gain or advantage to himself or herself. An official or employee may not use or authorize the use of municipal time, facilities, equipment, or supplies for private gain or advantage to any private person or entity, except as authorized by legitimate contract or lease that is determined by the governing body in its best interest of the city of South Pittsburg. Whereas the city's employee handbook personnel policy also restricts or limits the use of city-owned vehicles for private or personal purposes. That's in section 4-228. Thereof states in the parts as follows. Vehicles are for official use only. No employee will use a city vehicle for personal business. Whereas use of city-owned equipment, vehicles, materials, supplies, and facilities for private purposes by city officials or employees in violation of the city's policies, procedures, and code provisions could constitute official conduct as described in and prohibited by the state Tennessee Code. Whereas the Board of Mayor and Commissioners of the City of South Pittsburg now wishes to reaffirm and emphasize the city's policy, regulations, and laws pertaining to the use of city equipment, vehicles, materials, supplies, and facilities for private or personal gain or benefit, and its opposition to such use through the adoption of this resolution. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Mayor and Commissioners of the City of South Pittsburg, meeting in regular session on 18th day of August 2025, in accordance with the city's ethics code, employee handbook, personnel policy, and Tennessee Code annotated section 39-16-402 as follows. That an official or employee of the city may not use or authorize the use of municipal time, facilities, equipment, or supplies for private gain or advantage to himself or herself. That an official or employee may not use or authorize the use of municipal time, facilities, equipment, supplies for private gain or advantage to any private person or entity, except as authorized by legitimate contract or is determined by the governing body, to be in the best interest of the city of South Pittsburg. In addition to this resolution and this policy, I've also ordered new GPS systems to be put in the city trucks, and we've also started the process of installing cameras at all the city buildings. You have any questions?
Did we not buy GPS systems like previously?
Sure, and they were all ripped out. Or not working.
Yeah. Motion to approve.
Good question. Was our policy in place, the last administration, or previous? I'm asking you, council.
There's always been a policy in place.
Correct.
Always been a policy.
It dates back to 2005, yes, sir.
So I've had discussions with numerous people, and the former city administrator told them it was okay to do this, do certain things. How did we let that happen with policies and procedures in place that govern that?
I can't speak to the past administrator, Mr. Allen, but I can tell you moving forward, anyone who violates this policy will be reprimanded and brought before this board.
Okay.
We've got a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Allen,
Yes.
Commissioner Duggar,
Yes.
Commissioner Myers, Vice Mayor Stone, Mayor Henson.
Yes. All right, next up is a lease on American Legion Hall. Rusty Graham and Kim Jordan are here to discuss it. Would y'all come to the podium?
Well, let me introduce myself. I'm Rusty Graham, and I have, what,
Put some over here.
some of this stuff. I'm gonna make reference to it, I think that's why. As I've gotten older, my voice has gotten weaker. I used to could just speak and everybody could hear me, but
So if you don't hear something, raise your hand. I'm talking about as loud as I think I should. I'm here on it's a joyous event as far as I'm concerned. Might be looked at somewhat as sad, but it shouldn't be. The American Legion Hall, or the community center as we've all known it our whole lives, is controlled by the American Legion Post 62, which was begun in 1919 after World War I. The nature of the American Legion is that it's doomed to die at some point if we don't have wars. That's a good thing. I guess from some people's social conscience it might be sad, but that's the case. When I came back here in the early 70s after working and being in college and so forth, we had over 400 members in the American Legion. We're now down to 48. And the reason for that is that you can't just join the American Legion because it's a good organization. You have to have had a history in the military, which includes really being in a foreign war. And those numbers are dwindling and dwindling. We now have a professional military, and so not very many people serve in the military, and therefore our pool of people. So what's happened is we've gone from 400 down to 48, I think is our standing, isn't it, Commander? This is Commander Kim Jordan. He's the official commander. I'm just a member, been in it since the 70s. But it's a small group. When they have their meetings that are called for the second Monday of every month, there's usually not more than 5 or 10 people there, and that's about as many people as participate. We all pay our dues, which are $37 a year, and the National gets all but $2. So $2 comes back to help us do everything, and that's been a problem. So anyway, the dwindling membership, and recently we've had some issues with handling of funds, which have put us in a situation where financially we need to turn this historic building back over to the city. Now this happened in 1956. From 56 till 80, the city leased the building and ran it, just like we're asking now to be done. We want the building to last forever. It will be 100 years old next year. I believe it's in September of next year. It will be 100 years old. And that building, if you haven't been over there, is really a neat building. It is somewhat in disrepair right now just because of our lack of funding and ability to do that. But it is a building that has the ability to earn funds. Usually, Kim, you maybe can tell them a little better about this, but we usually lease it out 4 or 5 times a month, and it's about $200 a shot. So that's money that should be able to cover costs that the city might incur. But we have a lease that was initiated, I think, by the city. It was laying there a few months ago, but it had never been approved by anybody. That basically leases it to the city for 25 years with the right for either side, if they just don't like it, to terminate the thing on 180 days notice. So really, it's a lease that hopefully will keep that building in existence as far in the future as any of us can see right now. But if somebody's mistreating somebody else about it, the lease can be terminated. I think Billy did 90% of this lease. I got a hold of it just from the Legion standpoint. We had to make some changes because of some of the language related to facts that no longer exist. But we've still kept to the ability of having a non-exclusive lease. It's exclusive to the city as far as being able to lease it to other people. The city will handle any revenues earned off the building. But it's non-exclusive as to use by the Legion. The Legion will be allowed to come in when they have their major events and have their meetings. They will be able to use it, and the office itself will be very small portion of the building will be maintained by the Legion from now on. But this building has a lot of history. It was the voting precinct for many, many, many years. It was the draft office for many years. It was the public library for many years. It was a speech and hearing clinic for many years. And the city has used this building for multiple things. It's a big part of our life. It's right in the center of town, and it's a unique design. It's an Egyptian revival building. There aren't many of them still in existence. They all got popular in the 20s when this building was built. But there's a long history of this unit. The unit was actually, or the building was actually dedicated by the mayor of Chattanooga. Came down and did the dedication, which was Richard Hardy, the Penn-Dixie man, but he was apparently mayor of the city of Chattanooga at the time he did that. We've had a lot of distinguished people down here. We've got a couple of war heroes that we have pictures of on there and so forth. But what we're asking the city to do is to take this historical landmark that is still a very good and usable building. In fact, for city meeting purposes, probably can be better suited than this building for that purpose. So we're hoping that an immediate use the city would put, that we would have city meetings over there, whether we would go back to using it as a voting precinct or whatever will be up to the city, because the city will have it for that purpose. It's across the street from the old city hall, and I know that brings up questions. Well, maybe the city hall won't be there. It's not in too good a shape right now, but at any rate, it is in the middle of the heart of the town, easy to park, easy to get into. The Legion did about 10 years ago spend over $100,000 really bringing it up. It had gotten to the point it was about like playground paradise. It had fallen in. It's not that way now, although it is starting to show some needs, cosmetic needs that hopefully the city will be able to do as part of their lease. What the lease does is leases the city and says, it's your baby, you pay for everything about it, and make it available to us on a limited basis. But it'll keep the building there, and that building it's on the historic register. Been on since 2016.
14 or 16, I can't remember.
So, I mean, and there's, if you want to know something about this building, I started to give you a long history because I went in and found the application for the National Register of Historic Places that was done. It's a very lengthy application process. The Development District did it. And there's a lot of interesting history about this building there. There's also a big fat folder. I went down to the museum, and there's a huge file, somebody's scrapbook that's basically good up to about 1980 about this building and so forth. I think it has one item in 1990s. But at any rate, it's just part of the town, and we're asking, our executive committee met and thought this was a good idea, that we proposed to lease it back to the city. And I will take just one moment, if I could, read to you something said by the first Adjutant General of the American Legion here in Marion County. That was part of this folder. It said he was addressing the folks at the beginning of the building project. This building cost $20,000 to build. It cost $15,000, but by the time they got through, it cost them $20,000. And everybody put money in. They had pipe and things and so forth. But at any rate, when they were kind of making the final plans to build the building, A.E. Legg, who was the Adjutant General at the time, had been way back there, said that Post 62 is not going to quit. The American Legion must, of course, pass out of existence, as only veterans of the 1917 World War are eligible. But before we pass on, we will finish the program that we have started. We will pay for our Legion building, and it will be a Legion home as long as Legionnaires live. When we are gone, it becomes the property of South Pittsburg and Marion County. So the intent has always been that it would be a public building there for everybody, regardless of the status of the Legion. And then this is Kim Jordan, and he's the actual head man down there. And Kim, if you'd like to say a few words.
I think you covered pretty much most of it. Like you said, it's a historical landmark. It is on the Tennessee Historical Landmark list. We have a plaque and everything out front. The proposal that we've talked to the city and the city attorney about is the city leasing the building from us, and the city can use it. We can still use it for all of our functions, and the city can also rent it out. It's being rented out right now by us, but if the city takes over the building, they'll also take over that.
As, I think everyone's had a chance to review the lease. Are there any questions about it or anything? We have a motion.
Make a motion to approve the release.
Have a motion by Commissioner Allen, second.
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Duggar.
What's the motion?
To approve the lease.
Approve the lease.
To what?
Approve the lease.
Oh, okay.
Commissioner Allen,
Yes.
Commissioner Duggar,
Yes.
So good.
Commissioner Myers.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stone.
Yes.
Mayor Henson.
Yes. Have a motion to adjourn.
Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
Commissioner Duggar.
Yes.
Commissioner Myers. Vice Mayor Stone.
Yes.